Jumbo, an African, lived in the village with his wife and 3 children. When he lost his wife, he moved to the city and became rich. He took care of his children and put them through school. Juma, his first son, aged 25 years, came to the house from his youth service. He met his father and stepmother, Seti. She was young and beautiful. He immediately fell for her. Juma couldn't help but admire Seti's grace and beauty. After few days he observed she was kind and caring, always looking out for him and making sure he was well taken care of. As the days went by, Juma found himself thinking about Seti more and more. One day Juma mustered up the courage to express his feelings to Seti. He confessed his love for her, knowing that it was wrong, but unable to deny his emotions. Seti was taken aback by Juma's confession, unsure of how to respond. After much contemplation, Seti sat down with Juma and explained to him that while she cared for him deeply, their relationship could never be romantic. She reminded Juma of their family bond and how, as Juma spent more time with Seti, he couldn't help but notice her strange behavior and the way she spoke ill of his father behind his back. He started to suspect that something was not right. One day Juma overheard Seti talking on the phone with a mysterious man, discussing a plan to get rid of his father. Shocked and horrified, Juma realized that Seti was planning to unalive his father for her own selfish reasons. She told him about it as the condition to have his way with her. Juma was shocked and conflicted. On one hand, he was infatuated with Seti and desired her, but on the other hand, he couldn't bear the thought of harming his own father. He decided to play along. With time, he could have his way without carrying out the unimaginable act. He agreed, and the love affair started. Both flirted with each other in the house, especially when Jumbo went to work. They kissed and got down on the same bed, but never had it. Seti wouldn't allow him until the deed was done. This even got him very frustrated. After much internal struggle within himself, Juma ultimately decided that he couldn't go through with Seti's plan. He realized that his love for her was not worth sacrificing his morals and betraying his own flesh and blood. He approached Seti and told her that he could not carry out her plans. Seti was furious and threatened to expose him if he didn't comply. He didn't want his father to know of his desires for his stepmother. He also loved her dearly. The offer from her was very tempting. His father was very loving and he never lacked anything since he lost his mother. He finally decided against harming his father, and he told Seti about it. She was upset about what he told her, but couldn't do anything to make him change his mind. Subsequently, the home became a battlefront for both of them. She found fault in everything he did. He left the house for his friends on her part. She couldn't let her husband know about Juma's romantic advances towards her for obvious reasons. She thought about her mission in the house and the time she was given to fulfill it. Actually, she seduced and got married to her husband in order to make him pay for failing in his promises to her river mother. Jumbo was very poor when he was in the village with his late wife and children. His family members fed from hand to mouth. Indeed, his wife got unalived because he could not afford medical treatment for her in the city hospital. She was treated in the village with herbal medicines. Going forward, he vowed to change the situation. There was no way he'd be in such penury. Jumbo consulted the dreaded rainbow snake goddess in the village with some items for solution. She obliged him riches, but he must visit her shrine once a year to make sacrifices. He agreed. He subsequently became rich as a contractor and moved to the city where he built his massive house. Every year, he'd visit the rainbow snake goddess shrine with required items and did so for 5 years. From the 6th year he stopped going to appease the shrine, and that was what angered the snake goddess. She sent Seti to seduce him and get married to him. The idea was to punish him for reneging on his promise. However, Jumbo was to be dealt with by one of his children, so he'd feel the pain. It was not to be done by Seti. With Juma out of the way, she must choose another method. Which way? she said to herself. She has to remind Jumbo of his vow in an aggressive way. That day he returned from work and went straight to her room. She was not there. He called her name twice, without answer. So, he opened the door to the bathroom and what he saw startled him. He saw a huge snake on the floor. He was terrified, and ran out shouting his son's name who was nowhere to be found. He managed to crawl outside overtaken by fright. He knew his time was up because he neglected to do what he should have done. He tried running across the ever-busy road, which was a miscalculation.